2017 tax reform changes came with a lot of things that are going to impact people's businesses. One of the large ones that I hear a lot of talk about happens to do with this 20% pass-through deduction that everybody's hearing about. Generally, the 20% deduction is against a business's taxable income. However, there are certain businesses that don't qualify if an individual's taxable income is more than $157,000 or $315,000 if you're filing a joint return. The businesses that have special treatment that don't qualify if your taxable income is above those thresholds are mainly service-oriented businesses such as attorneys, accountants, doctors, and any type of consulting businesses. Of course, there's a lot of more definitions that go with that, and Congress has to still, or the IRS still has to identify more guidelines on those. As I mentioned, in general, the deduction is 20% of a business's taxable income. There are some other restrictions, though, once you pass that threshold. One of them is that you have to look at what the overall wages are in the business, and there is a 50% restriction from those wages. So 50% times the wages, whatever that number is. If it's less than the 20% of your taxable income, then that lesser number is what your deduction is going to be. Other restriction, and let's say you don't even have any wages, has to do with qualified property and your original basis. So the calculation works out to be 2.5% of the original basis on certain property, not all of the properties, plus 25% of the wages. So whichever restriction there is greater, the 50% wages, or the 25% wages plus the 2.5% basis number, let's call it that, whichever one is greater is the one that you can use to then compare against the 20% deduction. So yes, there are a lot of complications, a lot of hoops to jump through on this, what is a simple provision, never really straightforward and simple. But that is why we are here as CPAs, qualified professionals at ShindelRock, to help work through all of those formulas and all those nuances to get the best results for our clients.